Welcome to Fred's annual risk report meeting where we will discuss the past year of events and future suggestions to be considered. My name is Randrey Vrey and I will be presenting this report to you. The following report will outline a clear structure and presentation of Fred's annual risk report. The core focus will be on the main findings throughout the company and with strategic action will be going forward. Risks that pertain Fred's business objections. Definition of risk involving our business is to mitigate the potential of something bad happening within the company, which is Fred's. This is to ensure that we keep to our value statements and our mission as a company, ensuring that we satisfy our customers with a healthy and ethical business by providing high quality of goods and at reasonable prices. The risk management system consists of the totality of risk management strategies, policies and procedures for identifying, assessing, monitoring, mitigating, managing and reporting of all material risks to which Fred Supermarket is exposed to and that may affect our ability to meet our obligations to clients and shareholders. The key is to find a balance between risks and preparedness. What is corporate governance and what are the responsibilities of the board? Responsibility is of utmost importance. We need to oversee the company's strategy, manage the risks, ensure compliance, and engage with relevant stakeholders. They provide the assurance that the directors are exercising their responsibilities over the company effectively. What are the benefits? The company's shareholders are provided with the assurance that there is effective implementation of directors' responsibilities and that executive directors are visibly accountable for running the company. With respect to the conformance and performance dimensions of corporate governance, the composition of the board of directors offers a balance of power and strict principles, ensuring that the directors adhere to the strategic objectives and performance is monitored by independent non-executive directors and external auditors. Decisions and activities of the board would be risk aware, and therefore effective corporate governance ultimately reduces the risk profile of the company, resulting in a reduction in share volatility and capital. So what are the strategic objectives? Building a shareholder value through consistent growth in the company's share price, increasing commitment to the local suppliers, reducing the carbon emissions by at least 1% per annum, and adhering to the generic competitive strategies, enhancing the return on investment. Our economic climate changes in South Africa we as a business operate within fluctuating markets and economics which change on a regular basis. This includes, but is not limited to, the price movements, capital availability, and barriers when it comes to the competition. Our main concerns are failure of food and stuff, high fuel prices, load shedding, online shopping, and increased competition. What are the risk categories that we see? So financial risks relate to the uncertainty attached to the cash position that our business is in. The period between our board meetings are far too apart, and by not evaluating and identifying the risks timelessly, this can cause a financial risk and lead to a loss for the company. The manufacturing of the generators can also cost a large sum of money, but the return on investment will be a good investment in a period of time. By renting the warehouse to conduct business, it will also be a sunk amount which has to be paid on a monthly basis. The hiring of staff can also be a financial risk. So what are profit risks? There will be a possible announcement of an increase in fuel and diesel prices by the Department of Energy, increase in the dollar of crude oil, and deterioration of the rand versus the dollar exchange rate. The impact that this may have on the company is the reduction in consumer spending, increase in operational costs, and reduction in net profit. This will be definitely a moderate effect on the company, and the likelihood of this happening is almost certain, and there are no controls in place to mitigate this. The lack of controls to mitigate the exposure to fluctuations in fuel price leave net exposure equal to gross exposure. The action plan is to implement logistics and centralized distribution systems to minimize the amount of fuel used and therefore reducing the overall exposure to fluctuations in the fuel price. Rolling blackouts that are implemented by Eskom places excessive pressure on the national power grid, which does not currently have the capacity. So this will impact the company and will have a great loss in trading hours, which will result in a low demand and clients will avoid shopping malls and the traffic that goes with it. The probability that this will happen is almost certain, and it will have a huge impact on the company. So what can we do to mitigate this? So we can buy the store's generators, which will increase the trading hours, and we can assist with the client with its demands as, and still sticking to our level agreement. So with the stores that cannot afford this, they can always see to share generators with the other stores, which can also help us. We can also try to see if we can cash off earlier, which will also assist. Economic risks is the reduction in consumer spending of the risk. The cause of this is high interest rates and inflation, the rising of unemployment and income inequality. This will impact the company and lower demand for goods, especially non-essential electronic equipment. This will have a major impact on the company. The only way that we can reduce this risk is to formalize the assessment of the business environment by requesting the manager in charge of the strategy to conduct economic and market analysis. The interest rates and inflation should be monitored. The focus should monitor the recommendations and should be tabled and reviewed by the board and its directors. What innovation risks do we have? Customer migration to online shopping. The cause of this is increased on consumer bargaining power and choice. The impact that this will have on the business is major, and the chances of this happening is almost certain, as clients would like to be online shopping at supermarkets. So Freight should really consider to mitigate these risks and taking the advantage to increase in the supermarket brand and overall customer experience. To overcome the postal inefficiencies in the postal services, we should maybe look at delivering our parcels, or we can offer in-store collection. So the conclusion, what is the business value? There are several key attributes, including robust identification and assessment, appropriate risk strategies, strong internal controls, clear communication, and positive risk culture. This involves in aligning Freight's strategy and establishing a clear risk appetite with continuous monitoring. Risk identification. Comprehensive risk identification should take place with accurate risk assessments and the use of KRIs. Risk mitigation and management. Effective risk responses should be given, strong internal controls, scenario planning, and stress testing. Communication and reporting. Clear and consistent communication and transparent reporting should be put in place. Our risk culture and governance. Having a positive risk culture and strong governance within Freight's company. Alignment with Freight's strategy. Strategic alignment and establishing the risk appetite. Continuous monitoring and improvement. Ongoing monitoring within the company and regular reviews should be taken place. I hope this helps our company for future strategies that we can put in place. And that is all from my side. Have yourself a wonderful day. Thank you.